Meanwhile, the UN humanitarian chief has continued his first-hand look at the damage in the Gaza Strip. His group is gearing up to provide desperately needed relief to the region's 1.5 million people. John Holmes visited many sites of devastation, including residential and industrial areas, schools and hospitals and local infrastructure. He also visited a compound of the UN headquarters. Hundreds of tons of humanitarian aid there were destroyed by an Israeli attack. Holmes is suggesting that the UN ask for compensation from Israel. He gave a harsh assessment of the scale of the damage he's seen so far.
One of the things we saw today, I had expected things to be bad. I had expected to see a lot of destruction. What I saw was actually more shocking than I had expected, both in its extent and in its nature. The destruction, for example, of the industrial area in a very systematic way, which has huge implications for the future economic development of Gaza.
John Holmes speaking there. That's not all, because the UN has also called for Gaza border crossings to be open for more than just humanitarian aid and eventually for normal economic transport. At a press briefing on Thursday at the EU headquarters in Brussels, the UN Relief and Works Agency insisted on Israel's assurance of allowing humanitarian aid to enter Gaza, saying it's also not enough.
One has to understand that a city of 1.5 million people cannot simply live on humanitarian assistance. It's the entire regime of crossings that has to be put back in place again in a predictable, stable manner.
And that wraps up our update on the Middle East conflict there.